I'm Bob Bolton from the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and this is Alaska Voices, a place for communities to connect through conversation in order to build a better tomorrow for Alaskans and the world.
Originally, I grew up in Gakona, Alaska,
Tyonek,
Egypt,
Idaho,
Rampart,
St. Lawrence Island,
St. Paul.
And I'm here with my student,
my science buddy,
my teacher,
my homie.
I'm his daughter.
Hi, my name is Scott Rupp. I am 50 years old, and I am speaking today with a colleague of mine from the fire management community.
Hi, my name is Kent Slaughter. I'm 50 years old and speaking today with a colleague of mine from the university. One of the things that's really stuck out to me is the phenomena of the winter ice storms that we've gotten in the last 8 to 10 years, much more frequently. I remember, say, in the 1980s, you'd often get a warm spell, a Chinooking midwinter at some point in time, but I don't ever really remember the ice storms, and certainly not whether they were in the fall or midwinter like we've had recently in the last decade. And so that's certainly a phenomena. And then one of the things that strikes me is the change in seasonality of some of the native plant life. So fireweed is a really great example. In the 90s, when I was doing a lot of flying fire detection, mapping fires, you'd watch the large stands of fireweed change. A few years ago, I was on a flight to Fort Yukon, and it was early July, and to see the stands were already in bloom. And I thought, well, that's more like late July, early August that I would have expected that. So that's a change of a month or more, and that's just in the last 20 years.
You just mentioned your fire career, and I believe it's been a pretty long one. Have there been significant changes operationally in terms of how you guys go about managing fire?
How we respond to fires, that's really shifted. We're no longer trying to keep them at the smallest size possible in most cases. That recognition of the role of fire in the environment, that it's got a natural role here and that we haven't screwed things up too badly. The real dramatic shift occurred in 2004 when we started getting access to the satellite imagery for the thermal. So that allowed us to, find fires much more rapidly, especially in smoky conditions, and to have pretty good accuracy of mapping them versus somebody going out and flying that and drawing a map from the air.
Is the food any better?
The food's better, slightly.
It's good to have happy people in the middle of nowhere, right?
It is.
I know that I have really benefited in, say, the past 10 years with the fact that I was able to work on some projects where we had fire managers integrally part of those projects, and I got to spend a bunch of time with them, which is not something you normally get to do.
Yeah, so the key for us is being able to justify and ground decisions in good science. And so the closer relationship we have to ask the questions and find people who can help us answer those questions, I think that really helps everybody.
Alaska Voices builds bridges by creating a space where community members, friends, policymakers, and scientists can share stories and place-based knowledge. This project was developed in partnership with StoryCorps and was funded by the Alaska Climate Adaptation Science Center. Additional funding was provided by the University of Alaska Fairbanks Chancellor through a generous gift from the Bentley Family Trust. Alaska Voices would not be possible without the help and efforts of an amazing group of people. Our producer and audio engineer is Kelsey Skomberg of Mossy Stone Media. Our podcast and outreach specialist is Michael Delu, and our website designer is Carolyn Rosner. If you are interested in more conversations or information, please visit our website at alaskavoices.org.